Right, this is a video for a Honda CR-V 2-litre executive automatic. This car is quite unique in the sense that it's only done 54,000 miles from new. It's had just the one private owner and has an absolutely astonishing service history, which I'll go through in due course. The car's also been fitted with privacy glass, the side steps you see here, and the rear spoiler. You've also got this front sort of soft nudge bar, as they call them, on the front, or bull bar. It's a really beautiful looking car in fabulous condition. I'll just go around the car for you now. I mean, obviously we are looking at a car that's sort of 11-12 years old, so there will be the odd little mark, but in reality it is in beautiful condition. All the lenses here absolutely spot on, hardly a stone chip. There's obviously the one or two little ones there, but nothing of any consequence. Offside of the car, front wings unmarked. Front tyre, got tons and tons of tread. It's a Bridgestone tyre, and the front alloy, no corrosion, and just a tiniest bit of curbing on the outside edge, which you can just about see there, but it is minuscule. Panel work down this side and wing mirror, absolutely spot on. It's in fabulous order. It's, you know, hard to see much newer cars in better condition than this one. Let's go down the flanks there. It's pretty much mirror smooth down there. Can't see anything at all. Rear alloy, rear tyre, sorry, again Bridgestone, and again tons and tons of tread. Alloy on this side is generally very good. We have got a little mark on one of the alloys there, which could just be touched in, but we've left it as it is for now. Coming around the back of the car, if I stand back here, you get a better angle to see the high level spoiler. Really does finish off the look of this car. Tyre cover again, absolutely good and intact. Come around the back of the car again, really top order. Near side of the vehicle, again, this is the side of it's going to take any marks that'll be on this side, but there's nothing there that I can see on there. Alloy on this side, completely unmarked, and again, Bridgestone tyre in absolutely superb condition. Panel work, simply can't fault it. It's absolutely wonderful. Wing mirror casing again, very good order, and front wing is unmarked. Final wheel tyre again to finish the match shot, set off. Bridgestone again, so it's a really good sign of ownership, that. And the alloy is in very good condition, with, again, as with the other front one, just a little bit of curbing just on the absolute outside rim of the car. But externally, given the age of the car, you know, it's in, you know, you wouldn't really want to fault that car. I'm just coming to the boot area here. Absolutely massive boots. Parcel shelves there and intact, but you can see why the CR-Vs are so popular with families. You've ended up with this enormous area. The rear seats fold in a 60-40 split. They kind of tip forward and fold forward to end up with an absolutely colossal space. Just to show you in the back here, rear seats in absolutely fabulous order. You've got a full black leather interior, and it's been kept in really top condition. Just to show you the back from a different angle here, obviously you've got absolutely massive amount of rear leg room on the car. This can actually be extended or reduced. Underneath here, as with most modern seats, front seats, there's a bar there. You can pull the seats backwards and forwards, about sort of 6 to 7 inches to enlarge the boot space. You can also adjust the angle on these rear seats just by pulling this tab forward and dropping it back, or making it more upright, depending on what position you want to leave the seats in. Right, coming to the front of the car now, driver's door card's in really top condition. You can see down there, got the Honda lock and wheel nut set is here and with the car itself. Sill areas all in top condition, and the driver's seat, again, absolutely amazing condition, it really is. This one's been fitted with this optional centre armrest, which is enlarged to give you extra stowage area. Just press the button there, and that can fold up vertically out of the way. That then leaves you access to this centre table here, which again, just a pull of the lever there, drop that down to clear up some space. Front passenger seat just looks like new, absolutely amazing. Executive models come with the sunroof, so just press a button there, pops open, and then if you want to, you can slide it back, but it's all fully functional. Right, so I'm inside the car now, engine is running. Just quickly to show you, we've got the full owner's manual pack still with the vehicle. As with the rest of the car, The interior's in fabulous condition, it really is. I'll just sort of scroll around here for you. I'm going to pick on one thing in a second, but I'll just go to the other bits first. On here we've got the climate control system that is blowing out really ice cold air. So we check the air conditioning. In here got a little cool box, put a hand in there, that's ice cold air coming in there as well, so sandwiches or chocolate bars can be kept in really lovely order. Coming across here, obviously automatic gear lever, nice and high up, well out of the way to clear floor space. And in there you can see that 54,622 miles. There's no warning lights on the car with the engine running, as you can see, apart from obviously just the fuel light, but it's all in absolutely superb condition. The only thing on this car is the radio and CD works perfectly, but the car wasn't provided to us with a DVD disc for the sat-nav. We make no claim that the sat-nav works on the car. Obviously if you buy a disc and it works, that's absolutely fine, but the reality is these sat-nav systems operate a disc system which is age related to the car, so you ended up with maps for a 2004 car. Most people's phones now have sat-navs which are massively superior to these, so it's not seen as a negative on them. But just rest assured that radio and CD works absolutely perfectly. Obviously if you should get a disc and it fits and works in the car, then it's absolutely fine, but as I said, we don't make any claims for that. A quick look under the bonnet now, just to point out that the engines always sound noisier on the video than they do in reality. It's actually very quiet under here. Really nicely presented engine bay. Brilliant engines, absolutely. They last in eternity. It's just a normal servicing, but delivering very refined performance, and very economical given the size of the car. Okay, while I'm sat in the car here, just thought I'd get the service book out for you. It's a wonder to see. I mean, basically the car's been fully serviced by Hondas from what I can see, initially at least anyway. You've got services at 7,000, 13,000, 17,000, 19,000, 24,000, 29,000, 34,000, 38,000, 42,000, 47,000 and 52,000 miles. It's an absolutely amazing history on the car. Lastly, just the logbook for the car. You can see there the registration number of the vehicle. Then come down here, you can see there's been no previous recorded keepers on the vehicle at all. Alright, this is the road test video for a Honda CR-V. 2-litre executive automatic. Car's registered RV54HVH. Mileage at the start of this brief road test is 54,574 miles. This video should in time follow on from a walk around and appraisal video of the vehicle. That will also outline and detail the service history and ownership of the car. The purpose of this test drive, as with all the ones we do now as a garage, is it's really because we're now selling to people and customers from all over the near continent and the extremes of the UK. So clearly if people are willing to put the effort and time into coming to see us, we feel it's only right as a garage that if you're going to come see us, that we've driven the car ourselves and we can show you it's in operation. So if there's any issues with the vehicle, we can tell you about them prior to you coming. And obviously the point is to give you reassurance if you are going to be travelling and committing to a lot of time, effort and money, that you can do so in confidence. So what I normally do with them is to go through the video in a sequence of events, much as you would do yourself when you came to see it and obviously then drove the vehicle. With that in mind, obviously I always start with the engine. Before I start, obviously it's worth pointing out that clearly the car's a very low mileage vehicle with quite astonishing Honda service history. So most of what I'm going to say is you're going to pretty much know the answer to straight away, but just so you know. First of all, engine starts absolutely on the first turn of the key. It sounds absolutely sweet as a nut. It's a beautiful engine. They always have been, always will be. This particular engine, as I said, it's very youthful in terms of its mileage and drives absolutely beautifully. It pulls like a train. There's no warning lights on the dashboard aside from the low fuel light that relates to anything at all, including obviously the engine. But in terms of the engine itself, as I said, it's a very sweet unit. Complements this automatic gearbox absolutely brilliantly, and it's which I'll come on to in a second. It's got more torque than you give them credit for, but it's just the smoothness and the quality of the engineering that kind of stands out at the very moment you touch the throttle pedal. But in terms of you know, the car itself said, you know, you won't fault the engine at all. It's a beautiful, beautiful example. That then goes through this really lovely Honda automatic gearbox. You know, they're renowned by everyone in the trade as an incredibly tough gearbox. You know, our local gearbox repairer, you know, they don't really like Hondas very much because they don't get a lot of business from them, and it's, you know, you can see why. It's just got that beautifully engineered feel to it, and this is, as I said, a fantastic example of one. Every gear change is that lovely, slick, oily gear change to it, and you know, it's matched perfectly to this wonderful engine. So in terms of the mechanical hardware, engine, gearbox, you know, without fault, and drives exactly as you'd expect from a car of, you know, with this low mileage. The steering of the vehicle, whilst I'm on the move now at sort of motorway speeds, there's no vibrations on the steering wheel at all. It tracks absolutely bullet straight on the straight ahead, and it's, you know, it's a very precise steering setup for, you know, what is a sort of a tall upright car. They've always driven well, and this one, you know, is a very fine example of one. There's no kind of I can't detect any kind of wear through the steering wheel, which is what I kind of listen out for. And likewise with the suspension, which I come on to next, you know, the things I'm looking out for there, yeah, you can clearly hear it when you go over a bump, but I'm listening out for things like, you know, these little kind of aftershocks, little shimmies rather, and, you know, little light rattles which you get from worn suspension components. But it just feels tight as a drum. It just has that lovely sense of, you know, you turn the steering wheel, everything goes as one, and it's just got a really, really fine feel about it. Brake pedal, again, solid as a rock, exactly where you want it to be. As soon as I touch the brake pedal, nose dips, not over assisted, done in a really nice way, and again, likewise, no, you know, horrible vibrations suggesting sort of brake disc warping or otherwise in the car. When it comes to the interior, as you know, it says in the previous video, you know, it's in, you know, wonderful condition. You know, given the mileage and age of the vehicle, the owner, and it's only been the one owner, as you now know, has kept the car in really fine order. All the dials here, there's nothing really marked on the dashboard that I can see. There's very little sign of any obvious wear on the car. All the dials work absolutely beautifully. Every button I pressed has worked absolutely spot on. It really has. Ventilation system is blowing out lovely cold air, and we're now first really nice day of spring, and it's lovely. When I open this cool box, put my hand inside, there's nice cold air going in there as well. So you can have, you know, chuck a chocolate bar or something in there to treat yourself. But it's you know, it's all works absolutely beautifully. Obviously, as it says in the previous video, just worth reiterating again, the vehicle wasn't supplied with a sat-nav disc. We can only assume. I mean, the radio and the CD works absolutely perfectly. Unfortunately, you know, it is, whilst it's mechanically, you can look after cars, unfortunately there's not many 12-year-old sat-nav systems still operational, and it was a fairly archaic thing about 5 years after it was launched, because it runs off a disc. It's age related to the car. So assume the sat-nav doesn't work, and you know, if you get a disc and it works, then that's great. It doesn't affect the use of the CD or the radio in any way, shape or form. I mean, to be brutally honest, the, you know, modern phones that have sat-navs built in are far better than these. I said it is pretty old technology, so you know, it's not something that unduly worry you or anybody else. But just going to go a little bit quicker around the corner just to show you the CR-Vs. They really do corner very lovely. They hold the line really nicely. You just turn them in, they hold the line, totally unflustered, no kind of bobbing and weaving about, you know, through the mid corner. And that's quite important when you're driving these cars a long distance, especially a lot of them are now bought, you know, predominantly with, you know, for family use. If you've got kids in the back and they're being chucked about and bobbing up and down, you can imagine what the consequences of that are. It's a bit of quite an expensive cleaning bill. But in terms of the way this car drives, I can't fault it. So the only thing we've got is that nav disc thing. you know, I've listened out while I've been driving along for kind of wind noises, like a wind hiss, or you might have a window sill gone, or windscreen sill gone. And to be honest with you, there's nothing at all. It's a really, really lovely example of one of these cars. You know, they are quite beautifully engineered, and you know, but to find one in this condition with this ownership and history is a real rarity, and whoever gets the car will be a very lucky chap or lady. You know, this is an executive version, so you've got all the bits on the car. The leather works in lovely order. As I'm sat in the seat now, the seats are really supportive. They've lost none of that at all. The heated seats work absolutely perfectly. You've got the 2 buttons down there, and as I said, I had that on earlier today, just trying it out. But it's, you know, it all works absolutely fine. Again, just quickly, before I go, last thing, this car's not been cleaned. It came in this condition. I mean, it's in beautiful condition inside, so we like people to see it as original as possible. But you know, as I said, if you're coming a distance to us, then you can do so with a huge degree of confidence. If, however, I've missed anything on the video which you want to know about, or was just glaringly obvious, then please do give me a call. I apologise for that, and give us a call and we'll get an answer for you.